So what you're going to need for this part are the 4 pieces of scrap wood that you have, and they don't have to be big. These are just 4" by 3.5" or something like that I just grabbed from the corner in the shop. And the larger of the 2 pieces of PVC that you purchased. If you only bought one size, then you need to grab the sections. So by now you will have decided what size that you want your hydroponic system to be. These are already cut to 24 inches because like I said, the store sells them in that size. The one you would have seen in the original picture is 40 inches long, but just for this demonstration, I went with the size that they already had on the store because it was cheaper instead of buying a whole 10-foot piece of PVC and cutting it down to size. So these are 24 inches long, and one thing you'll find is that if you have a pencil or anything you're going to be marking with, it's very difficult to draw a straight line on a circular surface. So it's very difficult to draw a straight line on a circular surface. So what these blocks are there for is you're going to want to put one at either end, and I'll turn it this way so you can see it a little better. You're going to want to put one on both ends. So you got that there, and I'm going to put one on the other end as well. And what I'm going to do from there is I'm going to use the hot glue gun that hopefully you've plugged in by now. Going to use the hot glue gun, and the reason I'm using hot glue, as I'll explain in just a moment, but you'll find that it's just something that's easy to work with. Most people have one readily available. The key to keeping these type of very doable projects cost down is to use what you have already rather than going out and buying a bunch of stuff, and just use what you already have. So all you got to do, you're going to get just a few points on the PVC. Get that nice and hot glued up. Get on a flat surface and just press it into your scrap wood. Then what you're going to do, because like you see, that didn't take, I don't know where, I must have got these out of the corner of the garage. Got spider webs on them. But the PVC will set up pretty quick with the hot glue and the scrap wood. And you're just going to do the same exact thing to the other side. Just a few different points. Doesn't have to be all the way around. Doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to get this off later anyway. Get it nice and flat. Push it against there. All right. And you should have something like this by the time you're done with it. And that's all you need. You just need this to be steady. And that's going to be where you draw your reference line from. So that's going to keep the PVC still enough for you to mark where your straight lines are going to be. I'm using this called a square. This is a little plastic one. Costs a couple bucks if you don't have one. A ruler would work just as well because now you have that flat surface to run your ruler across. In fact, I'll use a tape measure because that's what most of you will have available to you. All right, so you get that there, and you're just going to use this as a reference so that you can make sure all your lines, all the circles that you're going to drill, all the holes, are that they're linear, that they're all straight in line with each other. So you're just going to go right below, mark however many you want. I'm not going to do many, and you'll get them nice even space apart. When you're spacing out your holes, that and the size of your PVC, you need to make sure you know already what you want to plant, because you don't want to plant something that grows out wide and have your holes so close to each other. So if you want to do something like lettuce, then you don't want to do them 2 inches apart. You'll do them several inches apart so that as they grow and you take care of them, they grow larger and larger, that they have space to grow. And the size of the pipe, you want to make sure that whatever it is you want to grow, you'll do some research on how their roots grow, because you don't want something that's going to have big tangled roots that'll clog up this system, and then you'll have leaks all over the place. All right, so I'm just going to do a few just for, like I said, just for that. Great. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put in a drill bit. Now the size, you want to just make sure that it's not too wide. You want to start with something small. And the reason you want to do that is because the surface of PVC can be slippery. So you don't want to go in with your big hole saw bit and have to get that big bit in there. You want to start something small because it needs something to bite down on and to drill into. And so you'll want to use something similar there just to get the hole started. Not all the way through, just to get the hole started so that your larger bit, your hole saw bit, can actually drill through it. And as you can see, if you don't have a second set of hands, and I'll turn that over so you can just see the holes there. There's one here, and one here. I'm just doing 3 for the sake of this example. That having these square blocks keep it steady so that if you're doing this by yourself, the PVC is not rolling all over the place. So you're going to do this twice because you have a second set that you're going to want to do. Pilot holes in there so that this drill bit has something to latch onto when you're drilling straight down. So you have these 2 different bits here, and you can see that there's a clear difference in the width of them. So you want to just get a pilot hole started and go from there. All right, so now I got the holes drilled. Ended up doing 4 in each. And if you look closely, you can see it's got all this rough edging on it from the saw from where it was cut in there. And that's all right for right now. We're going to leave these to the side, inside with the blocks still on them attached. We're just going to put those away, and we're going to take a look at our smaller sections of PVC. This is going to be our connectors. So in the 2 pipes, what you're going to have is you're going to be able to connect them on the ends so that the water flows in this S-like motion. And so we already said that we have the street 90-degree angle there, where this is going to fit right into our reducer, and that's going to go directly into this pipe here, and it's going to look like that. But in order to achieve that S shape, as we bring these back over here, we're going to need to put a section of PVC just like this so that it connects to that 90-degree elbow. And again, this is where you want to really measure your space, see how big you want this to go, because what you're going to do, I'm only going to do these 2, but you could make this go on endlessly. So you want to make sure that you measure the space that you're going to put this and whatever you're going to have it resting on, so those dimensions, so that you know where to cut your PVC pipe there, so that you can have that connector and it fits well, because you'll need, you're going to want for that to go, excuse me, because you're going to need for that to go into here, into the reducer that's in there, because you're going to want that last part to flow so that you can have these reducers connecting here with this thinner PVC in it. And so from this angle, it'll look like that when you cut the PVC, and then those will go right into there, right in there. All right. So I'm going to cut my PVC down into the sizes that I need, and I want to have them spaced out just about here. So what you want to do is when you measure PVC, anytime you're inserting it, and we'll go from this angle here. Anytime you're inserting PVC, you don't want to measure from lip to lip, because that PVC is getting inserted about, just about a ½ inch, or maybe, just about 3/4 of an inch in. So you want to make sure that you're measuring from the inside of that lip. So you want to measure from the inside of that lip to the inside of the other lip.